right, we are live. As you can see, we got the whole band together tonight. We got Kyle and Darius. It's been a while over Christmas break. We haven't talked to them much. We have so much to get to. We got Jason Porter, our guy from Lynchburg. Jason, tell us a little bit about what you do in Lynchburg and how people can best contact you.
Yeah. Hey guys, Happy New Year, everybody. I feel like we're doing a Brady Bunch thing here with the Four Squares. This is fun. I'm with Legacy Realty and Development here, and local real estate agent, and just a huge Flames fan. Was on staff with athletics for a number of years, and translated that over now into the real estate market, taking the D1 mindset back into real estate, and just having a blast and trying to help everybody out with any real estate needs out there. Emails across the bottom there, Jason Porter Real Estate at gmail.com. I'd love to help Flames Nation out.
Yeah, Jason, I got there's a personal note, but I thought everybody would find it kind of interesting. I got your email today. Jason's and I have talked today for a while, trying to get into some stuff in Lynchburg. It'll be a lot of fun. So I appreciate your help on that. And you guys, he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. He has a bunch of investment properties himself and can really hook you guys up. So Jason, also a great basketball mind. So glad to have him. Let's turn it over to our special guest tonight. Hey, we've been having a lot of fun talking to you guys all year. It makes being a fan a lot more fun. We get a lot of positive feedback from this, just how cool it is that you guys are recapping games like this, and just your momentum and just the vibe of the team. So that's kind of what we'll stick with. We'll start with Kyle. You started out the season what I would consider a little bit subpar shooting for what we're used to seeing out of you and expectations. We talked to you a lot about keeping the faith. McKay had some strong words about you not throwing in the towel because you have high character. And then you talked to us too about basically your team's looking at you, and so you have to keep up a positive momentum even when things aren't going well. And man, that thing turned around for you. So the last 6 games, you're on fire, straight 70-some% from the 3-point line. Is this kind of one of those stories of just sticking to the grind, sticking with what you know works, putting in the work, and you've always told us the work will pay off. Does it feel good to kind of come through that a little bit?
Yeah, I think anytime, like especially as a competitor, you want to help our team win. I feel like I can take some pressure off D and some of our other guys by hitting some shots every now and then. That always helps. But no, it was good. Just staying with my routine and just really trusting the process, trusting what's going on in the games, and just really sticking to it, like you said. I have great people around me that are really positive and help me through every situation too. So the beginning of the season might not have been how I wanted to shoot the ball, but now we're playing really well as a team, and it's fun to hit some shots every now and then. So
Darius, same thing for you. You come off a 41-point performance, and it feels like, what's the reverse of that? So if you're like kind of on fire and you're putting up tons of points, what's your mentality going into the next game? Do you feel can you easily slip into pushing too much where you're trying to do too much, or how do you bring yourself back down and come in and have a regular 20-point game?
I think if players focus on scoring the ball, then yeah, you can. It's easy to get caught up in that, especially when you have a game like that. You try to repeat it, but like I think in our program, we're so focused on the possession at hand. Like I didn't picture 41 coming. I don't think anybody else pictured that coming. We want to get the best shot possible, and however teams are playing us, like we're always going to take what we feel like is an advantage, and teams just kept leaving things open. So we were just trying to exploit it, and luckily I just ended up with 41. I had no idea at the end of the game. I thought it was going to be like 20, 25, and then someone told me. I thought they like misread the stat sheet or something.
Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, guys, welcome back to Lynchburg. I think we're all excited about Saturday night and getting you guys back in the arena. It seems like I was going to say since last year since you played there, but hello, I guess technically it has been. But just curious with that trip over Christmas break going to Hawaii. You guys appreciate y'all roughing it out there, representing Flames Nation out there. But was kind of curious what the trip was like. What were some of the highlights for you guys? And I was wondering, Darius, if they let you bring that big stick that they awarded you back on the plane. I don't know how that worked out, but love to kind of hear a recap from you guys about Hawaii. How was it?
go ahead, D.
I thought it was great. Just the environment, being able to go to Hawaii and just see how beautiful it is. Like it was my first time going, and for a lot of us, it was. So just to tap into like a different part of the world with your brothers. It's a new experience, and you get to experience it with people that you love and that you go to war with every single day. And like from the basketball side of things, it was great. Obviously, we wish we had two different outcomes, but I think we learned from it, we grew, and we also competed against some very talented teams and well-respected teams. And I think the camaraderie off the court was phenomenal. Like guys is sitting around playing cards, playing video games, laughing, talking. I think that was the biggest difference. It almost kind of catapulted us from that, in my opinion. Like
Nice. Kyle,
headed
how about you,
into what
man?
we're about to head
For
to.
sure. For sure. Now, I was gonna echo what D said. We had some intense spades games. I know we we competed on the court. It was an all around really cool experience, and definitely coach knew what he was doing by accepting the invitation to that tournament. I think, like D said, it's kind of propelled us off the court and on the court last couple games. So
Yeah, my question is about shot selection. So you guys talk a lot about getting the best shot each possession. That's something we hear every week. And the stats started coming out, and you guys are one of the top teams in the country with shot selection. I forget what study it was, but it was Gonzaga, and you guys were like right at the top in the whole country with shot selection. I'm looking at that thing like, man, have you guys seen some of Darius's fadeaway threes and all that kind of stuff? But they're going in, so I'm wondering what kind of rules are in place. Is it rules that are put in place, or is it just a mindset, or is it a combo of both of like, hey, I'm not taking this shot because my teammate has a better shot in the corner there, I'm going to kick it out to him? What do you guys think plays into that shot selection?
I'd say a little bit of mixture of both. Like I think we all have this same mind and the same mindset of like pursuit of what we want on the offensive end. But at the end of the day, we kind of have to make reads on the fly and see how teams are playing us, even with that preparation. And we're so unselfish. I think it's easy to see why we're so high up on there. Like if you watch certain possessions, the ball will get to popping. You never know who's going to shoot it. You just see a bunch of guys wide open and the ball's just moving. So I think that's what we try to make every possession like for us on the offensive end.
no, big time. I think, especially you first get here, that's one of the first things coach will tell you. Is like we're a defensive minded program and we're trying to get a great shot on the other end. So, like D said, like coach gives us a lot of freedom in that to just play basketball. But then when you pair that with unselfish guys who are talented, know how to play, that's the result. So,
Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, guys, I know there's always a big talk going into conference play. It's a whole new season, second season, however you want to phrase it. That's always a big deal, and you kind of turn the page and peel off the calendar. And as you are thinking about that and think about conference play, it's always huge to be up 1-0 already. And like I said, getting ready for Saturday as well. But just kind of curious too, if you guys have set any goals. The old New Year's resolutions thing, I guess, is the pop phrase, of course. But if you've got any goals that are a little bit different, maybe coming into conference play or into the season, maybe either personally or professionally, if you will, too. Just kind of curious what kind of the next level is. So, Kyle, we'll start with you, man. Then Darius, you're on deck.
yeah, I think from a basketball perspective, like I think getting back to March Madness is something I've been focused on really since we left last year in Indy. So you could say that's kind of a New Year's resolution basketball wise. And then I'm about to start a year in the Bible challenge. So that'd be pretty cool. Just going through Old Testament, New Testament, all the way through. So I'm super excited about that. Those are kind of two tangible things that I could spit off right there, but I'm super excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, I would say the same. Definitely leaving Indianapolis last year left a sour taste in our mouth. So I think all of us are just focused on marching, not making sure we're not missing any steps in between. Like we don't want to leave anything uncovered, no stone unturned. So I think that's just our primary focus, and we're going to carry it over into this new year. And personally, just trying to like broaden my horizon, like continue to make new relationships and build on those relationships and just reach people that I may not have met if I wasn't in the position that I am. So like a lot of people reach out to me via social media. So especially smaller guards who relate. So just trying to make sure I can provide the best advice that I can give them and just try to give them an upper hand, because you always want to reach back and help those avoid the mistakes, or just give them a little tip for things that you may not have had during their time. So
Yeah, and I think that's huge too. I was just going to jump on Chad too and say just real quick, we've talked about this with you guys in the past, but man, you guys have a huge platform, huge influence, and I know y'all know that, but yeah, Darius, to your point, man, just being aware of who's paying attention to you and who's looking up to you. The window is right for both of you guys to continue to focus on other people and continue to do what you do as great influences and ambassadors for the program and for Christ.
Yeah, it's certainly fun to watch. My question centered around Stetson. So I don't know, as fans, we were kind of all getting nervous about Stetson. To be honest with you, we haven't done well there the last couple years. And as fans, we're like, hey, is this just a style thing? Is this we don't like that gym? Is this just a travel thing? It was snowy here, it's sunny there, like it threw you all off. We didn't know, so we're all kind of like nervous. I'll be honest with you, we were nervous. We were like, hey, Stetson, it's a we were looking at the Vegas line. That's stuff you guys are not supposed to do, and you're probably not doing. But that's what we're doing, and we're like, hey man, I don't know about it. So I want to know what is talked about in the locker room. You don't have to give me all the trade secrets or anything like that, but is it even brought up? Like, hey, historically, we haven't performed well here? Or do you guys say, hey, this is a new team. People who have never been there before. They don't know us. We don't know them. We're going to go down there, and this is a whole new thing. What is the mindset of the team when you're heading to a place like that maybe you've struggled, particularly for us, Stetson?
I think first off, like we had to let it be known, like this is conference. Like we want to set that tone first and foremost and raise the intensity and our execution on both ends of the floor. And obviously, all the teams in the conference are well respected by us, but Stetson, especially at their place, they definitely like made it tough for us. So we wanted to make sure we came out well prepared. We wanted to match their energy and just be pursuant for that 40 minutes. So, like everyone knows, we've lost 2 games there in the last 2 years. So we definitely want to make sure we put our best foot forward against them.
No, I thought one of the most unique thing is like we played them last year a handful of times. So like you get a scout on a conference team, like you pretty much know the scout already, right? Because you played them, and then you got probably 6 guys this year that didn't play them last year, so they didn't know it. And so it's always unique, right? Like you get a new team that really doesn't know some of the losses in the past, but also you got veterans still on the team that have that lesson that from last year or years prior. So it's a good mix of blending the old with the new, I think, for sure.
Jason, we got time for one more. You got anything else you want to figure out?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think it's always fun to see you guys come into conference play. I love the fact that you've been toe to toe and nose to nose, typical Coach McKay, right? Going in and playing the Power Fives and getting ready for conference play, and it seems like that makes you guys a whole lot tougher. Coming into Saturday, what's the initial scout? What are you guys seeing for Saturday's ball game?
I think right now we're just focused on us. Even though we won against Stetson, we made a ton of mistakes. So just trying to clean that up and just be the best version of ourselves on both ends of the floor. Like we had a cluster of turnovers on offense, and on defense we missed a ton of assignments. So just trying to make sure we're polished and ready for whomever.
Yes, sir. No, I just echo what Dee said.
Pros. They're pros, Jason. They're not going to give us any of that kind of stuff. That's good.
I
stuff,
know.
I know.
No,
hey,
no 2-minute drill strategies.
No, we tried to squeeze one in there at the end. Guys, listen, we'll be there Saturday cheering you on. We'll say this to you guys. I think I've said it every single time. Look, my kids love coming. Jason's son, he loves going, and his kids love going. You guys got a lot of people looking up to you, and we're so proud of the way you represent our mission at our school, but also the university and yourselves. Darius, I cannot wait to get back up there. I did confirm my season seats are near your uncle and your whole family. He was kind of anyway, in last game, he was sitting there and he had just sat down. He was running late. He had just sat down. He's getting into it, pulled up his camera. And I guess it was his niece or somebody was like, I want some popcorn. He spent the whole first half up at the popcorn line, didn't even get to watch the game, but he come back and he was like, I'm ready. I'm locked in for the second half.
That's him. That's him. Energetic, unselfish. He used to, coming up, I lived in Roxborough, North Carolina. So Durham was maybe 30 minutes away, Chapel Hill 45, Raleigh an hour. He would take me wherever, play against whoever. In the middle of the day, didn't matter what he would do. He would put everything down to go take me to play basketball. So
I
wouldn't expect anything else for him to do for any other kid, honestly.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I had actually just told my kid wait till halftime for popcorn, and she was like, "Hey, can you take me to get popcorn?" Popped right up and left. I was like, "Man, he just got here. Probably drove 3 hours to get here." But it was awesome, and I'm loving to get to know those people. But you guys have a huge impact, and we're all so proud of you. So let me jump over here to John, and appreciate you guys, and we'll do it again next week.
Good seeing you guys.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
Man.
guys.
Appreciate it.
All right. That was that was fun. We had four people. Look, we got 4 minutes here till everything closes down. John, the polling. Let's switch gears just as fast as we can. Update here. Update me. We got 4 minutes to the polls close. Are you going to be able to look at the polls live and tell us who won right away, or do you need my help?
I think I've got it straight. It looks like we got some separation, but we did have. I'm refreshing it here on another computer as we're talking. But yeah, I mean, we had 6 of the 8 matchups in the Sweet 16 of the Liberty Twitter Bracket Challenge that were less than 10 points or 10 votes separating them coming into the last hour. And it looks like they've each got some separation in them. So unless there's a last, 20 votes that can swing one way or the other, I think we're pretty much locked in. You want to just recap them real quick, who it looks like right now?
No, let's wait till 9 o'clock. I want to ask you. Well, let's talk about some of the ones that are. Tell me the ones that are for sure over. That they're pretty much.
Yeah, Malik Willis for Heisman, the #1 overall account, taking on Bill Powell, the 5 seed in that region. Malik Willis for Heisman is going to move on. He's got 62% of the votes right now. Not a surprise. Great run by Bill. Great account, great follow. Make sure you guys follow him if you're not. But Malik Willis for Heisman, that's the odds-on favorite to win the championship, I think. Then the other one that's I don't know. The rest of them are pretty close. I guess the other one would be Jenna Nicely. She did Liberty win in the second round, the 8 seed. She's got a nice healthy lead over CJ Sweat. She's got 59%, so I think she's comfortable in. So those 2 will move on into the Elite 8 pretty comfortably. The other 6 were all within 10 to 20 votes coming into the last 30 minutes or so.
Okay, so real quick, we got 1 minute before the polls are ending. Malik Willis for Heisman, his strategy has been to lay low. We haven't seen his best game yet. He's going to be in the Elite 8 with a full arsenal of memes, and everything that he does is so fun. He's tweeted a little bit. He stayed engaged. I know he's keeping up with it, but he definitely has not shown his best game yet. He's holding on. As far as Jenna Nicely, I think what she's doing that's working is putting the link out there in her Facebook, her dad's Facebook. They're messaging the link to people, and I think that they're getting people to vote that way. So that's their kind of strategies. We got about 45 seconds here, John. Keep a close eye. Do we have anything close that's going to come down to the wire?
Let me refresh again real quick and see. But one thing about Jenna is the number of votes that she's getting. Like, she's got to be a one of the favorites to win this thing right now with the amount of votes she's getting. We'll see what happens as she gets into the Elite 8. But let's see here. I just refreshed. Let me see. So Turtle's up by 50 votes. So looks like Turtle Power is going to hold off Ellie McKay, and he'll take on Malik Willis for Heisman in the Elite 8. Jerry Flincham's up by 14 on Aspiring. That'd be
all right. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. So read the results. We got 4 matchups. Give us the other 4.
All right, Jerry won. Jerry knocked out Aspiring. He had 52% of the vote. So he'll advance to the Elite 8. Rise With Us outlasted Luke Skywalker. 52 also percent of the votes there. He won by just 14 votes. We said Jenna moves on. Let's see. Kathy hangs on. She comes from she knocked off Bourbon by 16 votes. So she made a last push. That was one that went back and forth there the last few minutes. Let's see. Joker's held on. Joker's won by 22 votes.
Another come from behind.
Yeah, Volunteer Flames, they were way behind all day, and they made a late surge to tie it up. And then Vine's Palm held on. Richie made a push here tonight, but they held on to win with 53% of the votes. So we got our Elite 8 is set. You got Malik Willis for Heisman against Turtle Power in one regional final. Then we got Jerry going up against Rise with Us in another one. Then we got Jenna Nicely and Kathy Hudson going up for a spot in the Final Four, all women's Elite Eight. And then the Jokers against Vines Palm. That's your final 8.
Yeah, so some intriguing stuff there. As Aspiring ended up losing. He was a number 1 seed. He did a lot for Twitter. I know that he was out with his youth group all last week, and then he had some stuff tonight with his youth group, so he couldn't do that last minute push. What I think's winning, John, honestly, the strategy is to send that link out to everybody you know and beg for votes. And it's kind of, getting people to endorse you on Twitter is one of those things, but I think what the people are doing that is winning is contacting a lot of people and using all their platforms to drive people to this voting link. I heard a good strategy today. There's apparently a way that you can edit a link to go to just that voting, so you don't have to scroll. So when you click the link, it takes you right to where you need to be to vote. And I heard one guy doing that today and sending it out to basically everybody he knew, and did it that way. So it was a lot of fun. We have our Elite Eight. We will be doing that on Friday, John.
Yeah, Friday will be the Elite Eight.
Okay, cool. So Friday from 9 to 9. Thank you to Ellie for participating. Thank you to Aspiring. Thank you to Luke Skywalker and to
CJ.
CJ Sweat had an awesome look this morning. Turtle and CJ Sweat had me rolling this morning with their podcast, and then Turtle's video. If you know Turtle, he is just the kindest, most gentle-hearted kind of guy. To see him act like a big, American, just all full muscle. That was hilarious with his glasses on. I laughed at that a lot. So thank you to everybody who's participated so far. We have 8 teams left, and it looks like we have some good contests coming up. It's been a lot of fun, and it was fun to read those results live. I think, John, before we sign off here, what is your take on moving it to the website so far? Do you think it's been working okay? You think everything's going to be okay for the Elite Eight this way?
Yeah, it'll be fine moving forward. I think we learned a lot today with having these 8 matchups. We'll change up the way it looks on the site, have all the polls up towards the top of the article so you don't have to scroll so far. We'll keep the bios down below, but all the polls will be up at the top for the Elite Eight and moving forward. Plus, you only got 4 matchups on Friday, so it won't be as many. But it's working out. Of course, Twitter's the best way. You just scrolling through Twitter and click a button, it's fine. Now you have to click a link and then scroll down. But, hey, it's working out. We're getting similar vote counts to what we saw on Twitter, so I don't think that's swaying anybody. And, make sure saw plenty of engagement on Twitter today, which is the whole reason why we do it. So keep on bringing your engagement over to Twitter and social media. I know people are going on to their Facebook pages and other social media accounts to try to get some last minute votes to help push them over the top. But yeah, it's working fine, I think.
Yeah, very cool. I love the content. I'm looking forward mostly to what Malik Willis for Heisman has in store for the Elite Eight, Final Four, and championship if he makes it that far. So I think he definitely has some tricks up his sleeve. Really glad to hear. I was going to say this about the Jenna and Kathy matchup. That is the Queen versus the Cinderella. I think we've nicknamed Jenna the Cinderella of the bracket tournament. Just because of her low seed and what she's been doing, the vote count she's been getting, she's kind of making a run here. So it's the Queen versus the Cinderella.
You want to go through the matchups for the Elite Eight real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Because it'll be Friday, and we won't get on live again to do it. You want to do it real quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So first one, we got Malik Willis for Heisman and Turtle Power. What are your thoughts on that one?
Turtle has run his race. He's run the slow, steady race, and he's about to get blasted off the line by Malik Willis for Heisman. It's not going to be close. Turtle is all out. He made the videos. Turtle knows how I feel about him. He's one of my favorite accounts, but that's just too much firepower. Malik Willis for Heisman will come out, and this won't be close.
Man, I'm looking forward to the matchup. I'd like to see if Turtle can make a run, but I agree with you. Malik Willis is for Heisman. That account's gonna move on, but Turtle's got a fighter's chance. I like to see it. Like to see the
He's going to put
matchups.
up a. I know tonight he ordered dinner to go and he set at his computer from about 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock. He's probably watching this right now, and he's all in on it and loves it, and so he'll put up a good fight. But it's just it's kind of like watching Alabama versus Cincinnati.
You know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So in another one, you got Jeremiah Flinchum, and Rise with Us.
That one is going to be interesting. I expect Rise with Us to get involved a little bit earlier next time. Today, he made his final push late. Jerry was at all day. Jerry's bringing in some weird endorsements from some outside accounts, to be honest with you. Coastal and Troy and a few others were basically saying go vote for him. So he's bringing in some outside votes. If he does that again Friday, I think I'm not going to say who I'm voting for, but I will say that I think that Jerry advances just because he's putting the work in. And sometimes with these types of things, it's half what your whole persona and half how hard you're willing to work for it. And I think Jerry's going all in. So I give the nod to Jerry on that one Friday. I think he'll win.
Yeah, it'll be a close matchup. I know, Jerry knocking off Aspiring. I mean, a great account and a great year that Aspiring had. So that's a big knockoff for him, big upset. So who knows? I mean, we'll see how far that can take him. Then we kind of talked on it a little bit. Kathy and Jenna going up in one matchup in one Elite Eight, the all women's regional final.
Yeah, it's going to be Jenna. It's going to be Jenna. She's bringing in a whole nother group that we didn't anticipate from Facebook. You told me beforehand that she had a great Facebook following, but I've also learned that her dad, he has a pretty good sizable following, and he's doing a lot of work too. So they're kind of combining together. Where I think as Kathy is kind of, she's producing the content, and I think she's the queen of Liberty Twitter, and I love her account. But as far as this tournament goes, I think that Jenna and her dad have figured out something special. They're bringing in a ton of votes, and I think she rolls. I think she rolls in the Cinderella.
I agree with you
Queen.
on that. I think Jenna will have a nice, comfortable win. She's already had very comfortable wins over Did Liberty Win and CJ Sweat.
Wow.
And I've heard some, the biggest knock against her so far is her lack of Twitter game coming into the tournament. But she's really turned it on here these last couple of weeks, and she's really bringing the heat. And like you said, she's really figured something out and is just been steamrolling the competition. And she's been going up against some good accounts. Then finally, you got the Jokers against Vines Palm.
I think, I think it's going to be Jokers because they're into all four sports. As far as what's going to happen on Friday, they both are kind of apathetic towards the competition because I think they don't want to lose. So they're both kind of like, not pushing it very much. I don't even know if I've seen Vine Palm say vote for me one time. Have you?
I have not. I may be missing it, but
I mean, he runs a stellar account, and I think he provides a ton. I love reading he brought out a stat today that you and I had kind of talked about, but he talked about Kyle, that stat with Kyle's last 6 games and his 3-point percentage. But he just brings a lot of great content. But the Jokers, I mean, there's been around for a while. If this was a wake up call for the Jokers, and they go out and get their base involved and they go around and do everything they need to win, they could win the entire tournament. So it just depends on their level of engagement. And I'm thinking that today was a wake up call. Just a couple of messages I've had with them. I think that today was one of those things. They thought that they would breeze to the Elite Eight maybe, and now they really want to win it. They're getting close, and I think they'll play a lot better. So saying all that, I think that Jokers wins pretty handily.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Vines Palm, the fact that he's made the Elite Eight and he only covers one sport goes to show you how strong of an account he has. And he doesn't deny that he only covers one account. He's very open and honest about that, that he only covers one sport in men's basketball. But he does a great job, phenomenal job with that. That podcast he has is really good. But no, I agree with you. I think if the Jokers go all in and have their eyes on the prize of trying to win it now, I don't think that there's any way that Vines Palm will be able to match up with them if they tap into that base, like you said.
Yeah. All right, John, it'll be fun. Hey, thanks for all your work on this. I know that getting that article together and switching it all over was a lot of that was on you to get done, and I appreciate you doing that. And it looks like I had a lot of fun today. To be honest with you, engaging, seeing the coaches get involved and everybody that is loves doing this. That's what it's for me. It's really fun. Um, I'm not breaking any news because Ellie McKay tweeted this out a little bit earlier, but during the Liberty Twitter bracket challenge, um, you saw McKay get a little bit more involved, Coach McKay get a little bit more involved and engaged, and he did that press conference. And then you saw the video where he was talking to CJ's uncle last night. I think that was CJ's uncle that was doing the recording, and basically tell him that CJ was funny and stuff like that. And they used that as an endorsement. But the fact that McKay is a little bit more involved, and then he's even said again, I heard him say it last year, and he said it again this year, that Ellie might run an account for him. Ellie tweeted out tonight that she's working on getting a certain coach onto a certain platform, and it's going to be very big. So I am really hoping that Coach McKay joins Twitter. That'd be so much fun, even if he doesn't run it, even if it's just an account to have out there to kind of like. But that'll be a lot of fun. So I'm not breaking any news. Ellie put that out there. I'm just speculating based on all the things that I've seen out in the public. I'm hoping that that happens. So anyway, John, you got any final thoughts here?
No, when we talked, I guess, was it last week maybe, about some of our top moments? We talked about how much fun it was for us to see Hugh Freeze get involved, and like you mentioned, Coach McKay is just taking it to a whole nother level this last week, as he's like you said, and he's also thrown in an extra incentive, to be a additional honorary assistant coach for a Liberty basketball game this season. That's just crazy. And I mean, you and I weren't expecting that. He sent us that video and posted it on social. And that's awesome. So it's great to see him get involved. And it's great to see everyone get involved in, hey, Liberty Twitter bracket challenge. If it gets Richie McKay on Twitter, that's the biggest win this thing's ever had.
Yeah, that's so true. All right, John, we will see you on Saturday at the basketball game. We'll probably talk again before the championship, maybe the Final Four, and appreciate all your work on it, and go Flames.